Mort Saul, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, it's a pleasure, David.
Okay, so November 22nd, 1963, when you first heard that he was shot, what was the first suspicion that you had?
I wanted to know the detail. I didn't like the communal crying, but no detail.
What do you mean you didn't like the communal crying?
There was a lot of sobbing, and this is a terrible thing, like they can't stop it.
Mm-hmm.
But there were a lot of questions. In other words, where was the presidential security detail? They were at Fort Hood. They were told to stand down. He shot from the window. Why didn't they nail down the windows and the manhole covers? Where's the detail? Well, we'll know when we get Oswald. Well, they questioned him for 10 hours. There's no record of the interrogation. Then Ruby comes in there and they say, this patriot shot him. But the patriot turns out to be a bagman for the mob in Chicago. It started to fall apart right away.
You couldn't stand the communal sobbing.
Yeah.
That's a distraction. The tears and the patriotism and the
It's an indulgence. The Calvary eye closed when that happened. The second time when Bobby got it, Enrico said, we're going to close. I said, no, we're not. We're not going to be led in communal mourning by Walter Cronkite. We're going to ask who did it.
So by making something sacred, it enables the cover-up, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, sure. That's that whole thing. Then you can't say the movie was lousy. What are you talking about? Oprah Winfrey made this movie. Are you a bigot? It's that thing again, you know? The liberals. They're all on the side of the angels. So how come I ain't happy?
Conservatives do it with the American flag and patriotism. They hide behind our soldiers. They hide behind 9/11. I mean, both sides do it.
That's one of the reasons the liberals should have unmasked 9/11 if they were real liberals.
They should unmask 9/11.
Yes.
What do you mean?
In other words, why is the 9/11 report, you can't comprehend it. It's incomprehensible. And I saw the hearings, too, and the tapes. Still don't know if they used thermite in that building, and there are no answers there. Incidentally, the only book that really took it on was a book by a Republican professor in Claremont.
Okay, so when did you go to work for Jim Garrison in New Orleans?
About 65.
You were at the height of your popularity as a comedian, and you gave it all up to pursue the prosecution of Clay Shaw.
Well, I didn't think there was going to be any America. I thought it was going to be a fascist country. If they can do that and not give an explanation, you got to oppose them. You can't go along with that madness. Look who they got to go along. Earl Warren. They targeted everybody. They're still lying. PBS, by the way, contributed Wednesday night. They said Oswald turned out to be a lonely loser, a degenerate Marxist. That's an awful lot for one guy to accomplish at that age. There's no evidence of any of that. What happened was that Garrison followed everybody in the case, and he found out they all worked for the federal government. That's how he got started. Then we began to get a lot of resistance. Why aren't the archives open? Why was Alan Dulles on the Warren Commission? Where's the president's brain?
This president's brain or JFK's brain?
JFK's brain is missing.
Right.
They can't find it in the archives.
Didn't Bobby Kennedy take it?
No, that's a contrived story. We had that whole thing for several years, too, that the family believes these investigations are gruesome and so forth until they killed Bobby. Nobody believes Sirhan killed Bobby. The fatal wound is behind his right mastoid. There were 22 bullets in that board behind him, and he had a six-shooter. And the L.A. police took it down. And then you've got the coroner, Noguchi. I don't believe them. And the guy that wrote the book that this is all hokum is Bugliosi, who, of course, with the LAPD and Noguchi, solved the Manson case. Notice how they solve it. They scare you more.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the last time the DA's office won a case in L.A., by the way. You know, Garrison never lost a capital case. You know that in
Really?
8 years.
Do you believe that it was the CIA working with the Cosa Nostra?
No, as Jim used to say, the guys at the CIA make the Cosa Nostra look like Shirley Temple. They'll do anything, as you can see from Snowden's revelation. And they did. And it was out of the Western Hemisphere of the CIA with David Atlee Phillips. And of course, our witnesses kept getting killed. You remember George de Mohrenschildt? Terrible casualty list of potential witnesses. People were being beaten and threatened. But the fact wouldn't go away. The president was gone, and this country went into perpetual war. Perpetual.